sponsorship by the football club, by Unique Group and Global Properties. Now, we believe that Gambian football is at a stage that we need to take it to the next level. And I believe that over the next 1 week, having the likes of Colin Barnes, the likes of the head of recruitment for Millwall, the guys coming from Portsmouth, the guys connecting online from Southampton, Cambridge, will really make a difference in how our players are taught the game and how the opportunities our players will get to go out. So in brief, as you can see from the background, we have an event on the 31st, which is a football trial concerning 16 to 19-year-olds. And by the end of the two trials, on the 31st and on the 2nd, we hope to have at least 10 young players have the opportunity to be able to work with ECA with a view to having clubs outside the Gambia. And we believe that Colin's presence will allow these young people an opportunity to be seen, and hopefully with the right type of skills, they'll be able to ply their trade outside Gambia. So on that note, I don't want to say too much. We do have an event on the 2nd. It's 31st and 2nd. Then on the 4th, we should have an event chaired by the Honorable Minister of Sports, a CPD course for scouts and coaches, with a view to learning about the English game, how the English system evolved over time to produce the hurricanes of this world in terms of how far England has come. We all know that England didn't qualify for the World Cup in 1998, and a lot of work was done. I'm sure Colin will talk a lot about that. For you guys to see England get to the finals of a Euro, semi-finals of a World Cup, and all of those things. It didn't happen overnight. So we're looking at best practices on both the coaching side and the player side. And of course, in my conversations with Colin, we've talked a lot about infrastructure. So we believe that as a country, we all know the challenges of infrastructure in the Gambia. We've not been able to play our home games for the last 4 or 5 years. So I believe that with the type of extraordinary gentlemen visiting the Gambia across the Championship and the English Premier League over the next few days, we will have an opportunity to learn from them and hopefully implement some of the good things that they've done and give opportunities to our young people over the next few weeks. So I think I'd like to stop here for now. I'm sure Vice President Saul will also add a few words before we allow Colin to take questions. We're business people here. I think Colin is the football man. So we really want to hear from Colin. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, members of the press. And thank you, Colin, for joining us here today. We're super excited to be part of this journey. And we know it's a long and hard journey, but we're willing to be part of it. I believe our combined experiences can get us through to create something unique for Gambia and but also for ourselves. We're businessmen first and foremost, but we have a love for this sport and a great passion to see football grow in this country. And I don't think we could have found a better partnership than what we're seeing here within our group. And so far, the season has started well for us. But most importantly, we're excited to have these guests coming over to just show us a few tricks on how to keep going. And thank you very much for being here. I'll pass over to Mr. Colin and hopefully answer the questions that you may have today.
Can I just say, I've been coming to Gambia every year for 12 years. I own property in Gambia, and I've done coaching here at Father Goff's before for people. It was only then when one of my ex-colleagues, Addy, said he was in the Gambia on the 30th for this event. He asked me to get involved. So I'm here on holiday really, but I'm happy to share my expertise with you all and fire away what questions you want to ask. not just African footballers. Footballers, it doesn't matter if they're African, they've got green heads, yellow heads, whatever. First and foremost, I use the 3 sevens. How do they take and deal with the football? How do they move, and what is their spirit like? Now let me break that down. Spirit is, are they a winner? Are they prepared to go the extra yard? Technique, can they deal with the football? Lots of people can deal with the football, but then don't know what to do with it. You know, and then the final thing, which I think is really important, is, are they good people? Are they learners? Are they prepared? You know, don't get upset when they say, stop there. You should need to do this, or this. No coach makes a player. We help. And over the years, I've been fortunate to be associated with loads and loads of top class talent. But all of them had one thing in common. They had a need to be successful. Not a want, you know, a need. They needed it. We all want to be something, but the need was what they would do away from the football club, how they would go and make themselves better, how they would live. It become an obsession. It's like with me in football, it's not a job, it's a passion. I've gone away and done my best because I need to be the best that I can. So going back to what I look for, are they athletic first and foremost? You won't play in the top leagues unless you can run. Unfortunately, that's the way the game's gone, especially in England, in the Premier League, Championship, and there's lots of African players playing. And you look at a lot of the French players, they've come from, they're African really. So it's an emerging nation. In Gambia, I've seen loads of lads who are fantastic athletically, not bad on the ball, but no discipline. They just run over everywhere, and so they need educating. Whatever you look at, raw talent alone won't get you there. Okay? Anything?
I have a follow-up question.
Yeah.
Yes. So when it comes to young footballers,
Yes.
you're talking about this trial competition that's going to happen in the next few days between the ages of 16 to 19.
Yes.
Is that the best age when it comes to training young talent?
No, the study in England was that the golden years of learning are between 9 and 12. That's why we take them at 9 years of age in the academies in England. That's the gold. That's where they're like sponges. So that's what happens, and we call that the foundation phase. Then we go to the youth development phase. Then we go to the professional phase. So the foundation phase is 9 to 12s, and you've got to be a special type of coach to deal with that age group. So there's people who are experts in that field, just do 9s to 12s. So it's like, it might be under 9, it might be me and my ball. So all you do is dribble, dribble, dribble. Then at 10, it's ball sharing. So can you share the ball? So, you know, you can only play off your left foot. You can only play off your right foot. So, and then when you get to the youth development phase, that's when you go into 11v11, because they're small-sided games. So 5v5, 7v7, 9v9, then you go into 11v11. So then you've got to learn a position. So are you going to be a centre-back? There might be a boy who's been fantastic as a young player, as a striker. Not going to make it there, but we might see him as a centre half. Might be a winger who see him as a fullback. You know, a centre half who's really good, but is never going to be big enough, so he becomes a number 4. So in them age groups, that's and the charter for quality was quite simple. The best players training with the best, playing with the best, and so the games program is critical. So every Sunday, there's Cat 1 academies, there's 40 odd academies. They have a games program where they play north and south. So in London, you'll have Chelsea, Arsenal, Fulham, Crystal Palace. They're playing that. Reading and Aston Villa might come into them. So, and then when you get into the professional phase, you've got to learn to win. You know, where is he going to get a career? So it's important that how are these players going to earn a career? Now, the percentage for us is probably 1 or 2% who go through and play in our first team. But lots of boys drop here, drop there, might end up playing in Division 1 for Wimbledon or for Swindon or somebody like that. So that's for me. I think the most critical years are 9s to 12s for technique, and then 13, 14. That's when they learn a position. You know, you don't pigeonhole them, but hey, I'd like to see him there. Let's have a look at him here. Cool, excellent. Okay. And anything else you want? Any clarification?
Mr. Barnes, welcome to the Gambia.
Thank you.
I must confess that we are delighted to have an experienced somebody like you come and add value, of course, to our football.
I'm independent. I'm a friend of theirs, right? Now, the people who come in are people who've worked for me or I've helped. I'm not part of Unique, but I help Addy and all that. They're good friends of mine. I've got a passion for Gambia because I come here. I like the country, I like the people. So I will help as much as I can. I'm 70 years of age. So I still love coaching. I still coach now. The thing which, and I said this yesterday, if you've not got infrastructure, you've not got facilities, you will not succeed. And if you look at Father Goff's, that was a magnificent facility and it hasn't been kept. It's a disgrace. I go up there coaching it and I take 20 new footballs with me to coach the boys. And then what happens is they kick balls over and I end up with 14 at the end. Look after what you got. You know, if you don't look after your facilities and all that, and I think it's fantastic what these men are doing because it's going to give Gambia a chance. You have got players in this country who you could be up there with any nation in Africa. You could, but you need infrastructure. You need coaches who can coach. You need boys who need. See, like the structure in England is, we coach 9-year-olds. We don't release 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds. 11 would be the first time that we would say, sorry, you can't come back to the academy. But we educate them. We've got about 180, 190 boys in the academy at Crystal Palace. We've got 150 full-time staff. You know, we've got player care. We've got child protection officers. We've got physios. We've got neurologists. You name it, they've got it. Dietitians, you know, plus the coaches. And, you know, so I think for this country, it's long overdue. I think it's something which would excite the country. You're a small nation, but you have got raw talent. But raw talent is not enough. You need education.
What can we learn from the youth experience that we went off in 1998 and went back on track? What can we learn from that experience?
Well, what actually happened was when it was brought into play, at the time it was called the Charter for Quality, and that was the partners were the PFA, Professional Footballers Association, the FA, the Premier League and the Football League, I think. Is there anybody else? And the technical director at the FA at the time was Howard Wilkinson. And what they said is, and I think quite honestly, they only wanted about 15, 20, and 40 applied. And they couldn't say no because you had to meet a criteria for facilities, coaches, education. So you couldn't just wing it and say, well, do this, do that. You had to have these specific jobs, education and welfare. So you look after the boys' education and welfare. Physiotherapy, all qualified. Had a minimum of a B licensed coach. Had to have goalkeeping coaches. You had to have sports science people. All the things that you see, and what they were separate, run by the club. You know, not by the manager. The manager wasn't involved. It was the club's philosophy. So you had a philosophy. You had the philosophy. Sorry, I can't hear. Sorry, I lost my drift there with the child. You had a philosophy. Yeah, the philosophy. You had an essence on how the club, what their policy was. So wasn't, and because you could have a manager who wants to play a different way at first team level. Anything under first team level come under the technical director, the academy manager. They run that separately. So it was what the club wanted to produce. Okay.